Hey, Pete, it's good to see you. We are here talking today to do a dive into the headlines. Of course, we're talking about Silicon Valley Bank and the markets. We're recording this on Thursday. There's a lot of moving parts still, but I know you wanted to make sure you were communicating with clients. So the Fed, of course, has been working really quickly to stem a U.S. banking crisis, but I want to start with what's most important to your clients. What do they need to know?
Well, the first thing is when you're investing your money with us, our custodian is TD Ameritrade. Those monies are invested in the stock market. They're not related to the banking crisis. There is
Okay.
volatility in our positions, but the banking crisis and the withdrawals on that is not affecting our TD Ameritrade
Okay.
investment accounts.
That is good to know. It's apples and oranges. But
Yes.
let's talk, of course, to your clients who are like, but wait, I have money in my local deposit bank. What if they have more than $250,000 in the bank because the FDIC only insures up to that amount?
Well, yes, that's a concern. If you're concerned about the banking system in general, or we just don't know where this is going to spread. And if you are holding more than $250,000 in one account titled by you and your wife, the simplest thing to do is to go to your bank and open up an individual account for yourself and one for your wife, where you will both have that $250,000 coverage.
Hmm.
That's the
I mean,
simplest way to get that coverage. And then you
right.
have nothing to worry about with that bank money, even though the larger banks and institutions are not being affected by this. It might just be worth your while to go to the bank and separate that money. One less thing to think about and one less thing to worry about.
Sound advice no matter what the markets are doing, right?
Yes, absolutely.
I know that you've been speaking with people, and the conversations that I am hearing a lot, people want to know how this compares to the 2008 banking and financial crisis.
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago, 15 years ago, we went through a crisis, but that was more about the housing bubble and the leverage that the banks had. And that did hit the largest banking institutions. So this time around, it's the smaller banks that are being hit by this withdrawal. They're still large in our day and age. $50 billion is a lot. The city banks, the JP Morgan banks, they have increased their reserves. The Federal Reserve has actively worked with them through the years to make sure that they're properly funded and their reserves are sound so that an event like this is not affecting them. It's the smaller banks where the concern is. The larger banks are
Right.
just fine right now.
Right. Okay. So, last question again, Pete. I know that you've been doing this for decades. So, a lot of people want your insights, especially me. What are you watching for next?
Well, there's going to be continued volatility in the stock market. Right now, with the banking crisis next week, the Federal Reserve is meeting. There's some to think that they will only do 25 basis point hike. Some thinks they might just stop raising and
Right.
let this volatility wear off before they start increasing rates again. But it's definitely put a little wrench in their system there because we're not sure how they're going to respond. They've been aggressively raising rates. We're going to probably most likely see a rate increase, but don't be surprised if they do nothing next week to let this volatility work its way through the market.
Yeah, that is going to be interesting to see what the Fed decides to do next. Well, Pete, it was, really valuable talking this through with you. I know you're very busy right now. If somebody has questions, though, if they are feeling anxious after these headlines, what's the best way to reach you?
Yeah, guys, don't hesitate. I mean, it's a great time to call in and get reinsurance or look at your portfolios and adjust if needed.
Hmm.
You can reach me at 847-499-3342 or my email at pete@conwaytag.com. Be more than happy to talk to you and look at your positions and adjust as needed.
Perfect. All right, Pete, thank you very much.
Thanks, Aaron. Take care. Bye-bye.